Hey, good morning. My name is Brandon Soltmeyer, Operations Section with Northwest Team 6 on the Lookout Fire. Today we're going to go over a quick operation briefing of the Lookout Fire, and I'm here with our counterparts with OSFM.
I'm Mark Corliss, Operations Section Chief, Oregon State Fire Marshal Blue Team. Good morning.
So along with a overview and operational briefing today, we're going to talk about our transfer of command from Oregon State Fire Marshal's team over to Northwest 6, and they're going to talk about the duties they're driving over to us. We'll start with a operational briefing going around the map. We're going to start here in Division Alpha, which our break's way out here, but the fire line is actually up in here. Division Alpha had a pretty good day. We didn't have as good a fire behavior and fire weather as we wanted yesterday, so they were not able to complete or do much of their planned burnout. Fire's laying down. Today's looking like a much better day, and we hopefully will have a lot better success in getting around that corner up here between 2653 and up into the 1507 road. Moving up into Bravo. Bravo and Delta have been doing a ton of masticator work on 1508 road, tying in some of our secondary and contingency line. With the fire haven't been moved very much, we're also looking at bringing some lines in and looking at some different opportunities to cut this fire off a little bit closer in, limiting our acres that we have. So Delta is same plan. They are still looking some of the bigger picture, 1508 on around to 2654, which is Deer Creek Highway, and bringing it down because that's a line they are very positive we are going to be good with. But like I said, we're also trying to bring the lines in a little bit to limit our acres. So we're exploring a bunch of different options up here. Moving over into Foxtrot, they are starting to get resources. We're starting to shed some stuff off of Division Zulu and Victor, and we're starting to move them over here into our Foxtrot area. They're looking in and going in, punching around, getting lots of good prep on the 2654 road. Lots of mastication work, lots of felling work, opening that up and making it safe for our firefighters to get in there and do eventual burnout operations. Moving on into November, they are working from the drop point of Division Foxtrot at the Olali campground, coming down south to the power line at the corner where the 126 makes its north turn. They're running along the power line, securing that, getting that as our primary line, and starting to push in a little bit, trying to get the mastication done, and again, making it safe up for our firefighters to be on that line and eventually burn that out. Coming around into Tango. Tango is looking at doing some more burning off of Frizzell Creek Trail. They've done a really good job of bringing the fire down the ridge to the 706 road, but as again, same as yesterday with Alpha, wasn't the greatest day for burning, so we only got a minimal done. They tried using UAS drone ignitions, bringing it off the ridge, but it just was not working very well. So they're going to again look today, but also with that not working very well, that's a good thing for the fire, not a lot of movement. So they're going to bring it on around, and they're going to start looking where we're going to tie it in with Division November here on the corner. And they're doing a lot of scouting and a lot of looking in that area to trying to minimize the amount of acres we have. Moving on into Victor. Again, we do have some containment on the map, 5%, and hopefully by tonight we might put a little more black on the map for a little more containment, depending on what it looks like and depending on how much they get mopped up. Right now, they're about 80% mopped up, about 50 feet in off the line along Victor. They're supposedly going to be pushing in more. The reason they haven't gone all the way through here is they're still falling snags with falling mods to keep our firefighters safe as they work in amongst the trees. And they're coming back around to Zulu. Zulu and Victor have been a combined division now. Zulu has shed most of their resources up into the different areas that are experiencing the more fire behavior and need more horsepower. So Zulu is again still there, just pushing in, getting further and further deeper in there with our mop up and securing that line. And I'm gonna real quick talk about our structure east and west. So we have two different structure groups on Northwest Team 6. They have been working diligently with OFSM, trying to secure up and doing structure protection on H.J. Andrews compound. And then our east group has been doing a ton of work up here at Trail Bridge Reservoir, working with eWeb, getting everything plumbed, getting the campgrounds cleaned up and prepared in case the fire does make a run that way. Today, Structure East is also going to be looking at the Olali campground and going to start working in that area. And I'll pass it off to Mark.
All right, so I think one of the biggest things that Brandon and I need to chat with you folks about this morning is that transition and how that looks for us. We're going to have today is the last operational period for the Oregon State Fire Marshal, and we're still going to be down there on that 126 corridor up to that fire's edge on the 700 road. But the biggest thing is, and Brandon mentioned it before, they have a structure east and west on their team, and they've been here the entire time. And we've been working with those folks very closely every day. And we're just going to make sure that they know all the points that we've been looking at that maybe they aren't as familiar with. So where we have pumps, where we have sprinkler kits, those kind of things. And we're going to make sure that we're all in lockstep as we transition out and they continue to stay here. They've been here the whole time. It's not like it's brand new for them. They've been working with us day in and day out down here along this corridor. We maybe have failed to mention that they were part of our group. They've been part of our group from the very beginning. Team 6 brings structure east and west. They brought those in before OSFM got here. They continued to be here, and they will continue to be here after we're gone. So we just want to make sure that you folks are aware that the houses were still the primary threat. And as Brandon talked about, this containment line, and with Zulu and Victor getting merged together as one division, that's a good thing for us. That's a good thing for the Fire Marshal's office. That means that this threat down into the community is starting to reduce, and it's reducing very well for us. And we're in a comfortable place where we think it's good for us to transition this back over to the team that's already been here and doing the job as the State Fire Marshal steps out and the conflagration ends, because the threat to the community is going down. And that's a good thing, and that's why you're hearing us going home, and it's why you're hearing us talking about the transition right now. So as Tango gets secured up, we feel that the amount of resources that they have in structure east and west are sufficient enough to help protect this community down here along with the wildland firefighting resources, and that's why OSFM is looking at stepping out today. You got anything else to add to that, Brandon?
No, just want to reiterate that OSFM and Northwest 6 have been working lockstep with the structure protection. OSFM is going to be giving us a really good structure prep plan that we'll take and we'll be distributing to our structure groups on the ground, and they'll have everything and know everything that they've done and all the prep that they have done on the lines down there.
Yeah, and it's we do this a lot, and if something changes, if the weather changes drastically, anything like that, we're just a phone call away. And we have resources and we have processes in place in the state that the local Lane County folks can come back up, and we can spool up the conflagration just like we spooled it up last week when we came in. And so as we step out, if something changes and we need to come back, we'll absolutely come back. That's not a problem. But right now we're comfortable with the forces that the Team 6 is going to remain on scene down around the structures, and that's why we're stepping out today. So.
And one last thing, if you do see a lot of helicopters flying today, that's because our air is really good today, first time in several days. So we're going to have a lot of air helicopters up doing recons and also supporting the burnouts if they get going today. And that's all. Thank you.